Every story begins somewhere. Mine didn't begin with a job title. It began with observation, with listening, with quietly studying how professionals move, think, and lead. I entered the corporate space as an intern, eager, uncertain, but deeply cautious. I wanted more than experience, I wanted insights. So I paid attention to process, people, to patterns. I was not looking to prove anything on day one. I was there to observe, and evolve. Over the years, I had quietly learned the rhythm of the workplace, how team function, how system align, and how people drive process. I handled task like onboarding, documentation, attendance verification, and pair of support. But I didn't stop at what. I asked why. Why does it this matter? Why does it affect? What outcome does it drive? Slowly, that seemed ordinary began to take shape as something strategic. Onboarding was not just a paperwork, it was the first chapter of someone's career. Attendance system were just not numbers, they were tools for fairness and accountability. I learned to move purpose, to think beyond my task list, and to align my work with the bigger picture. That's where transformation begins. When I stopped doing things and started understanding them, each task taught me a technical skill. Managing the HRMS software, verifying the compliance documents, scheduling interviews. Beyond that, it demanded something human empathy. When onboarding a new employee, patience during the interviews, attention to detail in the reports. Slowly, I was not just performing the task, I was beginning to think like an HR professional. On one day, an unexpected thing happened that changed everything. The chatting was completely occupied, my manager was in meetings, and new joiners arrived. Without waiting for instruction, I stepped forward and handled the entire onboarding process alone, from document collection to system registration and orientation. Later, my manager asked how I managed without guidance. I simply said observation. I did been learning by watching. That moment I was just a task done right. It was a proof of growth. And it taught me something important. Initiative earns trust. I saw the need and I acted. I did it confidently. Not because I did done it before, but because I had watched. I had listened. I had learned. That moment was a turning point. It was not just about getting the job done, it was taking ownership, stepping up, and becoming someone the team could rely on. But professional growth doesn't stop at the office door. I have learned that if you don't tell your story, someone else will. That's where LinkedIn changed the game for me. I stopped using it as a digital CV. I turned it into a branding platform. I refined my profile, shared reflection from my experience, and engaged with the concern that mattered to my industry. It was not about showing off, it was just showing up as a learner, as a contributor, a future professional. Networking becomes strategic, not challenging. Collecting contacts but connecting with purpose. I reached out to professionals, joined HR discussions, and stayed cautious. My network started small, but it's growing, and so in my visibility. Today, I am no longer the intern waiting to be guided. I have become someone who leads when it counts, someone who listens, adapts, contributes, and tomorrow. I walk into that next phase with clarity because I have built the foundation not just for a work but for my career. I am still becoming, but now with purpose.